So we're working on classifying angles today. So your homework is to not only classify different types of angles here, but then also find the value of some of these angles inside of here. Also, you're going to be naming different angles. And then at the bottom of the worksheet, you have a figure over to the right-hand side, and you're going to name some different types of angles within that figure. So we're going to work some of the problems out today. On number 1, I went ahead and copied it on paper. So if you're just viewing on the computer, you can use binder paper to write down the problems, and then that's what you will be uploading to Google Classroom or turning into your teacher. So on number 1, you're naming two angles that are vertical. On number 2, two angles that are adjacent to each other. So remember, vertical angles are across from each other. Adjacent angles are next to each other. So I think those two you can probably do on your own given the notes. We're going to look at number 3. It says find the value of x, and then number 4, find the value of y. So we're really going to identify right here, what is my x value? So we have 5x, and then we have some other information here. So we know if this is an adjacent angle, it would be equal to 180 degrees. So 5x plus 95 has to be equal to 180 degrees. So that's going to be our equation that we write. So now what we have is a two-step equation. So here's our balancing point at the equal sign. We're going to subtract 95 from both sides. We end up with 5x is equal to 85. Then we can divide by 5 on both sides and get x equal 17. So there is my x value. Another way to look at this, you can do it another way by using vertical angles. So vertical angles we know are equal to each other. So if this 5x is equal to 85, that's a different equation we could write to solve it. We should get the same answer. So if 5x is equal to 85, from there we can divide by our 5. Notice that here's our equation right there. It's the same one that we just did, it's just simplifying a step. So divide by 5 on both sides, and x is equal to, again, 17. So you could use either one of these methods to find the value of x. The next problem we're going to work on is an example from that middle section. So name the angle in 4 ways and classify it as acute, right, obtuse, or straight. So we're going to really look at number 5 here. Again, you can do this on your binder paper, your lined binder paper, or you can write onto the PDF file. So this one I'm just going to use the PDF. Okay, so we have our angle here. We're really looking at this angle right here, angle 4. So that would be one way we could name the angle. So angle 4. Another way that we could name it is by the vertex, the one that's in the center of our angle right here. So this could be angle S. Another way to name it is using all of the points on those lines. So we're really looking for the measure here. So our angle would be RST. We could also write it the other direction, so TSR. We're really looking for that vertex to be in the center of both of those classifications, and then, or the names. And then for our classification, is it acute, right, obtuse, or straight? So a little trick that you can use is get a little piece of paper. I just have a little sticky note, and you can line it up with one of your lines, and that'll allow you to look at this angle, because this is a 90-degree angle on my sticky note here. So if this is 90 degrees, my angle that I see is larger than that, so it has to be an obtuse angle. So this one here is obtuse. If it was smaller than my sticky note 90-degree angle, then it would be an acute angle. If it was exactly the same, or it had the little square at the corner, here's a hint for number 6, it's going to be a 90-degree angle or a right angle. At the bottom on number 11 through 14, you're going to be looking at this figure to the right-hand side and naming some of these. So for number 11, we want 2 acute angles. So we're looking for angles that are smaller than 90 degrees. So I'm going to highlight some for you. So here's my 90 degrees. If I go from J down to B and then over to D or C, I could use either one of those, that is going to be an acute angle. So angle J, B, I can use either one of these points, I'm going to use D, is an acute angle. For my second acute angle, again, I'm looking for something smaller than 90 degrees. I could use this angle here, GBJ. I could also use this little angle over here, DCH. So angle, I'll use that one. So we have DCH for my acute angle. If you have colors or markers, highlighters that you would like to highlight all of these, it may make it easier for you to see. I hope that helps.